Hello, I'm Yishuang from HarbinMandarin.com. Welcome to the fourth lesson in my Chinese pronunciation using Pinyin series. In the last lesson, we covered some special rules that affect the simple finals yi and wu. In this lesson, I'm going to cover special rules that affect the simple final yu. The rules for the simple final yu are a little tricky, but knowing them will help you avoid common mistakes people make when pronouncing Chinese words written in Pinyin. After this lesson, we'll get back to learning how to pronounce the other initials and finals in Pinyin. First, I would like to review how to pronounce yu. This sound does not exist in English, so it may take some practice to be able to pronounce it correctly. To make this sound, start off saying E and make sure that the tip of your tongue is touching the bottom of your lower teeth. Then, while you are saying E, round your lips as if you were going to whistle, and you will start making the U sound. E, E, E. Practice this a few times and you will learn how to go directly to making the U sound. U, U, U. There are two different spelling rules that affect the simple final U. The first rule is that if there is no initial consonant before U, you have to put a Y before it. Just like the rules we learned in the last lesson, this does not change the pronunciation. It's just a spelling rule. Adding the rising tone, we get the word yu, which means fish. As I mentioned, the Y here does not change the pronunciation. It's just a spelling rule. So yu is pronounced the same as yu, 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 yu. The second spelling rule for yu is that the umlaut is not written when yu comes after a y, j, q, or x. This word starts with a y, so bye-bye umlaut. Although the umlaut is not written when yu comes after a y, j, q, or x, it still has to be pronounced as if the umlaut was there. So you may be wondering why we bother to remove the umlaut in these cases. I honestly don't know, and I wish it wasn't the case, but it's something you will need to remember in order to properly read and pronounce words written in Pinyin. When I was a child learning Pinyin, we were taught that the Y, J, Q, and X were naughty letters, and they poked out the Yu's eyes. I'm not sure that story will help you remember, so here's a sentence I came up with that should help. Young judge questions X-rays. You can use it to help you remember that if a Y, J, Q, or X is followed by a U, it's really an U with a hidden umlaut. There will never be a regular U after a Y, J, Q, or X. It's always pronounced as an U with an umlaut, even though the umlaut is not written. Okay, let's have a look at some examples. The word yu means rain. Remember, young judge questions X-rays. Since the yu comes after a Y, the umlaut is not supposed to be written. Yu, yu, yu. The word ju means lift. Since the yu comes after a j, once again, the umlaut is not written. Ju, ju, ju. The word chu means go. Since this yu comes after a q, once again, the umlaut is not supposed to be written. Chu, chu, chu. And our last example of the disappearing umlaut is xu, which means need. Since this yu comes after an x, bye-bye umlaut. Xu, xu, xu. Okay, that covers the spelling rules that affect the simple final yu. Are you ready for a quiz? How should this word, which means drama, be pronounced? That's right, this is pronounced ju. Because this yu comes after a j, the umlaut is hidden. Ju, ju, ju. This word is a common family name in Chinese. How should it be pronounced? Correct. This is pronounced xu. Because this yu comes after an x, the umlaut is hidden. Xu, xu, xu. How about this word, which means road? How should it be pronounced? Did you get this one correct? It's pronounced lu. In this case, it does not come after a y, j, q, or x, so it's a normal u. There isn't a hidden umlaut. Lu, lu, lu. Here's another. How should this word, which means fetch, be pronounced? Very good. This is pronounced qu. Because this yu comes after a q, the umlaut is hidden. Qu, qu, qu. And finally, how should this word, which means jade, be pronounced? That's right. This one is a little tricky because two special rules apply to it. Since this yu comes after a y, there is a hidden umlaut. Also, a y before an yu does not change the pronunciation, so this is pronounced yu, 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 yu. This is a little tricky, isn't it? Thank you for sticking with me through this lesson. The spelling rules from this lesson and the previous one can be tricky or confusing, but knowing them will help you master Chinese pronunciation and avoid common pronunciation mistakes. Before ending this lesson, I would like to thank Jessie from London for supporting my YouTube channel. Thank you! 谢谢你! If you would like to make a contribution to my YouTube channel, please follow the link at the end of this video. Okay, that's all for this lesson. I hope you have found this lesson useful. Did you enjoy it? Please click like below and leave me a comment. If you are interested in private Chinese lessons, please visit my website, harbinmandarin.com, and send me a message. I will see you guys next time. 再见!